What's up, YouTube? We're back. We're on our way to LKQ Pick Your Part. We did pick up another Jeep. We finally sold the Cherokee from last week's video. I don't know what was going on, but I could not sell that thing to save my life. I feel like tax season's over and people they don't have the money. Tax season is the best time to buy and sell and flip cars. If you are only going to do, say, 5 or 6 cars, that's the time to do it, because you can sell your car the first day every single time. I love tax time. Next year I want to set it up to where I have like 5 cars, because I'll just make so much money. So we sold that Jeep. We're on our way to LKQ right now because I need to buy a leaf spring. I ended up picking up a Jeep Cherokee Sport, which is my favorite Jeep over Wranglers, over Grand Cherokees, over anything. They're tanks and they can end up looking like this. They're amazing Jeeps. They go through anything. The straight axle design, you can stand the axles right up when they're lifted. I've lifted and built, Jesus, over 20 of them. I was addicted to them for a while, and the Jeep game was actually really lucrative. You could buy a Cherokee for $800 and sell it for $25 every day, all day. It's calmed down a lot, but you can still make money. In Michigan, 90% of them are rusted out. They're not even worth buying. The floor pans are gone. Rockers are completely gone. Most people around here have resorted to just looking for the shackles being solid, the unibody being solid, and suspension components, because if you want to buy something that's rust-free, Jeep-wise, you're paying $4 grand and up. And it is what it is. They rust out pretty bad with the salt in Michigan. But I found one for 800 bucks. It's got a crack in the leaf spring, but it's clean. It's 99% rust-free. I couldn't believe it. It's got 159,000 miles on it. To me, it's pretty much gold. I know you people that live in other states, your stuff doesn't rust out. Here, it's just inevitable. And if you can find something, you know, that year that's rust-free, buy it if you can get it cheap. The last year they made that Cherokee was 2001, so it is what it is. But here's the Jeep. It's clean. It looks nice. We're going to try to get this leaf spring. I'm not hopeful. Like I said, Michigan winters are harsh, and the leaf springs tend to freeze in there. Them bolts don't like to come loose. I'm going to go walk the junkyard and try to find one that looks like it's had them replaced, and we might get lucky. We might not, but either way, I could buy one new for, you know, 100 bucks. But if you buy one leaf spring and not the other, you'll have a saggy one and a stiff one. So it'll, you know, it'll make us sit a little crooked. But let's get to the junkyard, and then I'll see you when we get there. All right, we found a Jeep. It's got a little lift on it. See the 2-inch spacer right there. New shocks. That means everything's been apart. It should come off easier than most. These bolts are pretty stuck. I'm working on this one now. I got that one. I just went in with a Sawzall, cut the back off. So that's loose. And I got these 4 here on the leaf spring. This is just a stock leaf spring with a 2-inch shackle. I can't get that bolt out either. So I'm not even trying. I'd be here all day if I wanted to try to get all these. But it's got nice Skyjacker shocks on it. On a good day, I would try to take those. I'd try to take this whole 2-inch lift and put it on mine, but just don't have the time. So right now I'm trying to cut back through that groove right there, and I can't tell how far I'm through it, but I'm cutting through that back bolt. So once I cut that, then I can work on these. But I want to make sure I can at least get the big ones off before I tackle these, because I'll be able to get these whether I cut them or I get them off. But yeah, so I'm working on this. But yeah, this is the Cherokee, man. These things are tanks. I love the way they look, that boxy look. Got a new radiator hose. Got a hat here. Want a hat? But this thing looks like it was pretty taken care of, so I don't know what they did. Maybe head gasket. I know certain years we're bad with head gaskets. It's got a dash kit for a Jeep right here for aftermarket stereo. Was just ripped out, freaking people. Let's see, there's an aftermarket radio. What was it? Sony. It's not a bad looking radio. Don't know why they just ripped it out like that to not take it, but whatever, to each his own. Them people look down here. Look at, I found a quarter. I'll get that. Nothing inside it. But yeah, just here trying to work on this thing. I'm telling you, these leaf springs are a mother to get out of these things. And the junkyard's got 20 of them. This is what they all look like in Michigan. Right here. If you can find one that don't look like that, you're doing pretty good. But the odds of me getting one of these out, it's not very high. But yeah, Cherokee Sport. I love these things because everything's cheap for them. Even lifts. If you buy a brand new lift, you can get it for, you know, $700 for a Jeep versus $1,500 for a Chevy. And these will go through more stuff than a Chevy will. You can't get them stuck. I mean, I guess you can, but it's a lot harder than most. So let me try to get this thing out, get back to the house, and show you the Jeep. All right, guys, with a lot of cutting, bleeding, and swearing, I got it. Look, it's a newer leaf spring. It's still got writing on it. It's not all rusted out. I only need one. Since it is used, I'm just going to replace one and pray that my Jeep don't sit crooked. But we got it. What a nightmare. You can see I cut that one, got it almost cut through, and I just started reefing with my ratchet. I broke my big ratchet, but I went to my little one and it actually worked. I wasn't going to leave without this thing. I cut halfway through the leaf spring, but then I just started kicking the ratchet and it actually broke. Well, the U-bolt, not the leaf spring, sorry. I cut halfway through, I figured it would twist off. And once I got one side loosened, that would take pressure off the other side, and it worked. So I got one side off, fought it, and then it took pressure. God, half of me wants to take these Skyjacker shocks. They're actually pretty nice. I mean, they're kind of got some surface rust on them, but, well, that looks pretty bad on camera, doesn't it? But these shocks are nice. I mean, 3-inch lift shocks are nice to have. It's got some sort of a Flowmaster on it. So, you know, I'm gonna keep this in mind, you know, and if I need something, I'm gonna come back and get it. Rear end's been rebuilt. You can see the orange goop around it. So it's got a new rear end in it. This is probably a good rear end to get if I need one. Yeah, exhaust was cut there. Why wouldn't they take that? I'd want that. I bet you that sounds pretty good. So, all right, guys, let me pack up, get this home. I'll show you the Jeep. What's up? We're back. Here's the Jeep. I couldn't wait. I got these soaking right there. Yeah, buddy, that's the stuff. Look at this leaf spring. Broke off right there. This thing sags pretty good. So, yep, I got my blower, blew all the dirt and dust off of these studs. I'm greasing the crap out of them, praying, hoping. Yeah, check out these rockers on this thing. This is a Michigan Jeep, guys. Like, not even underneath. Look at that. That right there is the determining factor whether a Jeep is worth $1,200 or even up to $4 grand. I'm not gonna ask that because I'm not that guy. But the interior just looks good. It was a rich kid that owned it. That's the same radio that was in that other Jeep at the junkyard, I think. Crazy. But yeah, it's super clean. For some reason, only this door speaker works though. Don't understand. These are missing here. I don't know what he did or why, but they're in the back, so I'm gonna get them back on. You just gotta get these tabs bent out, snap it back on. He took her through a mud hole or 3, but I probably won't even clean that up, honestly. I'm just gonna get this thing up. I got 800 bucks into it, 830 with the leaf spring. It's got brand new all-terrain tires on it. Oh, look at this. It does have one spot of rust right there. I'm still calling it rust-free. Yeah. Look at these tires. Brand new. I don't care who you are. That's worth 800 bucks to me. Honestly, I wish I could keep it. Throw 1,000 bucks into it and make this thing sweet with a lift and some 33s. Oh well. Exhaust has got some modifications done to it. Look at that. It is what it is. I gotta sell this thing so I can pay my house payment here. So I'm gonna get busy. I gotta run. Brittany needs to go get some more paint for the camper. Her project's coming along. I'll show you that here in a little bit. Still got this Copart, guys. I love it. I was so excited the day we went. So excited. But here we are, 3 weeks later. Still no titles. I can't do nothing with this thing. It's killing me. Look at them headlights. That's a new thing. Every Jeep's got them now. But yeah, Copart. 3 weeks. I'm sitting on that, man. I can't sell nothing. She's still working on that, which I wouldn't have sold that anyway. But this thing, I could have made my 600 bucks and ran, you know, and been on to 2 or 3 other cars by now and made, you know, $2 grand by now with, you know, 2 or 3 more flips. That's why I try to stay away from Copart. I love it, you know, like I said in one of my previous videos. If I have, you know, $2,000-3,000 sitting around that I don't need, that it's just extra, it's kind of like in the bank, like savings, I'll go to Copart, and that's kind of what I did there. But I wasn't in a position to do that this time. You know, I should have took that money and flipped it into something that I could have got instant titles on, like this, or you know what I mean, something I could have just quick flipped, got rid of, and just did what I had to do. But I didn't, you know. I wanted to buy that Lexus with that 2JZ engine in it. I still haven't been able to do it. Every time I sell these cars and I make a few thousand, I got to pay a bunch of bills, and then I've got a couple thousand left. So I go and buy a few more, and I make a few thousand, and I got to roll it into bills. You know, don't get me wrong, I have a few hundred sitting in a drawer in my room, but I want to do this at a scale where I've got, you know, $5,000-6,000 sitting there. I did it before, back when Jeeps were a big thing. I mean, Jeep clubs were forming on Facebook. Everybody, like I said, you could buy one of these for 800 bucks and you could sell it for 2,500 as long as it had a lift. If it had a lift on it, 2,500 was the minimum, no matter the condition. And I would have 5-6 of these at a time in my backyard, swear to God. I actually was renting a house at that time. I was selling Jeeps left and right. Everything was Jeep, 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 Jeep. I was even buying 1970s Wagoneers. Just all Jeeps. But here I am, trying to flip Jeeps, flip things, save up some money. Hopefully it works out. We'll see what happens. Either way, you know, got a different car every day of the week. I can drive something else. Yeah. So I gotta run. We gotta go get some paint for her. I'll be back. We're gonna let this aerocoil sit. Hopefully I can bust that loose. If I can't bust it loose, I'm gonna at least get these loose. If I gotta use heat, I'm gonna separate it, and I will just replace these 2 bottom leaves. I don't even care, because the leaf spring I have is a OEM replacement, and you know, them leaves are gonna sit in there. As long as I replace these 2 leaves, if I can't get that bolt loose and that bolt loose, I'm not fighting it, because this nut right here behind here is welded to the frame, and if I spin that, I'm screwed. I'm gonna have to cut this frame rail, cut a notch out of it, get a wrench up in there, and get that nut out of there, and then I'm gonna have to put in another nut, and then I'm gonna have to weld that frame back. I'm not doing that. So yeah, let me get there, get back. I'll be right back. We'll see if I can just split this leaf spring, put 2 new leaves in it. First I'll try to bust them loose. I'm not going to give it much effort because, like I said, I don't want to break it. Put 2 leaves in. I'll show you guys how I do it. And yeah, it'll be good as new. Get this thing for sale. Alright guys, I got back and got to work. The coil worked. I busted these bolts loose here. Ah, the lighting's horrible. I got the bolts loose. I'm just going to slide these 2 bottom leaves out. I'm going to take them out of the other pack and I'm just going to put 2 new leaves in. These back bolts, they're not budging. I'm not going to risk it. So I'm just going to pop these bottom leaves out. I'll take that other spring pack out and I will just... You take these straps off here, and these bottom 2 leaves will come right out. I just gotta lower the jack there, and the axle will lower, and yeah, we'll have a new leaf spring. All right, just taking the spring pack apart. Basically, you got these straps that kind of hold them together. This pin is what sits in your axle right there. Goes through, holds your leaves together. That's a 14 millimeter. But these clips here are real easy. And it's not a bad thing to just replace leaves, because when you lift them and you buy the rough country kit, you buy an add-a-leaf kit anyway. So this is basically the process to lifting your Jeep as well. You take these clips off, they give you new ones. You just add leaves to it. But you just unfold it like that, and then we can reuse these. See? And that's how that goes. And I'll be taking this one and this one, taking my bottom 2 out, sliding them right in, and that's all there is to it. So maybe I should do 3 of them just to do it, just so it's better. Because obviously this is bolted to the Jeep. I'm going to leave it because I cannot get this bolt and this bolt out. So I'll predominantly have a brand new leaf spring, because you can see this is newer. It's still got the sticker. They were both replaced on that Jeep at the junkyard. So I'm confident that, you know, this will work good. It won't break. So yeah, I'm just gonna get these put in. All right, let me tell you, that was fun. To get these holes to line up, the best thing you can do is hang this down and then put each leaf on individually. We put the long one on first and then use one of these Irwin clamps to suck it up over there. And then I slid the bottom 2 on because they're like that wide and you can't compress them by hand. So as long as you get, you know, this is hanging down in there and you got the holes lined up for this, then you get the big C clamps. Where is it? Well, I used a really big C clamp right here and just compressed them all together, and then put the stock one back in because it's got the right size nub that goes into this circle down here, which keeps your axle aligned. So there, leaf spring is together. Now I'm gonna put these clips back on right here. Once I get that together, we can put it back together. But yeah, look at that frame. This is clean. I don't know how it has to, this has to be an out-of-state vehicle. It's just too clean. But yeah, hard part's done. Leaf spring packs together. I'm gonna get these clips on there just to kind of hold it together here, and we should get this thing back together and drive it. And just like that, brackets are back on. 1, 2, and 3. Basically, after you bend them to get them off, you raise that light up. You just squeeze them together with this bad boy, tink, 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 and then you just fold it over itself and hammer that tab. Boom. Alright, she's together. My freaking sway bar link's broken though. It's not even connected on the other side. That would be why she was a little swirly. Now would be the time to go to the junkyard and get one of those. Who knows if I'd even be able to get it out of an old frame. Like I said, this is a clean version of a Cherokee. Not many of them like this. So I'll get this leaf spring bolted in. That's something I can still get to if I jack it up from behind. So I'm gonna get this jack, bring this up, get that all back together real quick. Be right back. Boom. Next day here. Got it cleaned up. Leaf springs on it. Look at that. Brett went through the interior. Cleaned it up. Every Jeep does this. Every single one of them. See the radio. Just cleaned it up. It's got a full-size spare back there. I should probably mount that, huh? At least put it on the sidewall. Look at that thing. That's the only rust on the whole thing. Brand new all-terrain tires. This side, now that I got them new leafs in, sits a little higher. Look at it from the back. Probably why they say to do 2 leafs at the same time. Do both sides, because you will have one side sitting a little higher. But it is what it is. It's still a rust-free Jeep with 150K on it. So typically these in our area go, you know, $3,500 to $4 grand. I'm not worried about it. I posted that 27. We'll see what I get. Put down in the comments what you think I'll get for it. I figured if I put it at 27, it should sell fairly quickly. I just got my titles in the mail for the camper and the car today. It's about time. I want to make it out to Copart tomorrow, I believe. I think I'm going out there tomorrow. I want to do a video, my pros and cons. I love Copart, but man, waiting 3 weeks for a title is just, it's ridiculous. You know, 3 weeks you can buy and sell 3 cars. And, you know, with an average of $800 to $1,000 profit off each cars, that's $3 grand, you know. And sitting on them, just, I'm not making money. They take up space in my driveway, but I got them super cheap, you know what I mean? So how do you not do it? But, yeah. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the comments. Please remember, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think I'll get. Let me know what you would have priced it at. Have a really good day. I'll see you soon at Copart.